Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday evening we'll be reading from the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. This is the English page 919 and the Bengali page 997. So let us begin with this mantra. Tabo kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi virilitam kalmashapaham Sravana Mangalam Sri Madatatam Bhuvi Grinanti E Bhurida Janaha. Today, a very interesting incident that we will come to know, Master Masha recorded. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in his deep meditative mood, he saw two persons who were not believing Sri Ramakrishna and believing like this, that they were not ready to believe that a human can become God. How the God can take the human form? That was the doubt long back. And that is the reason it seems that the Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra never disclosed that he is divine. Only a few, very handful rishis, they knew that he is that Param Brahma in the form of the human. But majority of the people, they used to think that he is the son of the Dasharatha, and at the same time he is a very nice person, good person, etc. So that is why there's when the Valmiki, he is asking the question to Narada, he is asking, is there a person who will be having these qualities? So if we notice the people, they were not believing that God can take human form. Then came Dwapara Yuga, Satya, Treta, Dwapara. Then Bhagavan came as Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And he showed so many wonderful the power of God. Lifted the hill and then killed as a young boy. He killed the two great powerful people and also many, full of that. But still people were doubting whether these are all miracles, maybe magic and all that. So it is really, really very difficult. Contemporary people, when they see a holy man, they recognize him as a holy man, as a good person. But as a God, no, that is not possible to believe. Only someone, those who have purified their mind by practicing austerity, by practicing meditation, when they get the glimpse of God, they can understand, yes, these are the qualities one can have, only one who is having the divine qualities. Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, particularly in 16th chapter, the first 3 verses, he has listed, I think 26 or 28, divine qualities. What is God realization? We have a conception that the God means they will be not eating anything, they won't walk, they will simply fly, and all the time the aura will be there, light is coming out. All these miraculous things they think, then only they will accept the God, maybe in that way. But God has nothing to do with that. That is only the power in the nature. Now the scientists, they are harnessing the nature and getting so many powerful things. I am sitting over here in Chicago, and from all over the world you are listening to my voice, listening to me and seeing me. Think of it. 50, 60 years before, do you think it was possible? No one could imagine. Is it possible? The science frictions, they used to think, oh, it will be like this, like that. Now they have understood the nature, they utilize the nature, and then utilizing that, they are taking my picture through the air and putting to you and giving to you, and you are there. All over the world you can see. These are all miraculous. but it has nothing to do with divinity. Divinity, what are the divinities? 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, first 3 verses. If one can imbibe at least a few of those qualities, he is a great person. And think of all the 28 the qualities, if someone is having, he is God himself. So that is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in his deep meditation, he saw 2 persons. One was Dr. Sharkar, Mandalal Sharkar, the doctor, and he came to Sri Ramakrishna and slowly he tried to understand him. And now he comes, he loves, but still he is having the doubt that how it is possible. How can a man be God? So when he saw the people are coming and touching the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, naturally he said, and a very outspoken person, and as because he loved Sri Ramakrishna, he could say on his face, hey, why you allow people to touch your feet? You are a good person, but you are not God in that way. Sri Ramakrishna said, I never asked them, they come what to do. So like that, we have all this whole, the chapter, this type of conversation. Today, he saw 2 persons. Then when he saw the Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar, he recognized him. This is one who will be doubting him, then afterwards accept him. Another person, he mentioned 2, the Master Mahashaya, and today that person will come. Sri Ramakrishna will recognize him. And let us begin in this way. We know that last Wednesday we were discussing about the Radha and Krishna, and the love, the Radha that we are having, and there's a different type of love. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned a different type of love. One is a seductive, the tempting type of love. That is also the power of God. He will tempt you to the worldly things. Where from it comes? From God only. Except God, nothing is there. Except that Supreme Being, nothing is there. So anything that is there, either the poison or the Amrit, everything is from the God. The nectar and the poison, both are from God. The power of God, that is attracting us towards the worldly things, the bodily enjoyment and the food and these and that, but from it came from God only. So God again comes and tells, don't accept those. Those are my lower the Prakriti. They don't go to that. But we can't control. And that is called the seductive Maya. So that type of Radha is also there. Radha means that Maya, the power of God. And the Radha of love. And the love that is pure. Because when I can love someone, then I see some good things in him or her. Then I like those good things. Then I like to possess those. That is a love. So that is called the Radha of love. Then the eternal Radha. Eternal Radha means who never deviate from the original object. That power, that attraction, that love, that purity, any action that is there is nothing but Radha. Radha means God's power. It may tempt you and bind you. It may teach you and make you liberated. Both are there. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioning that. Those, the one scholar came, he writes book, so he was thinking, oh, this may be. He was not having this depth. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna casually, when he was talking with him, the conversation, he said all this. Then here it says, there are 2 aspects of Radha and Krishna. What are the 2 aspects? One is the absolute another is relative, absolute and relative aspect. Friends, this is called jnana. Devotion is okay, but devotion without knowledge, without understanding, it creates problem. People become fanatic and they close all the doors and windows of the that judgment. So because of this, because the fanaticism comes, we are not knowing things. So it is better, you should know. That's what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning here that it should be the absolute aspect and the relative aspect. What is the absolute aspect? So when we talk of God, when we talk of the reality, how it was created, then we need two things to create anything. One is the intellectual cause, somebody is creating, and a material cause. Some material should be there out of which he is creating. We always give the example of a carpenter and the wood. If there is a carpenter but there is no wood, how can he work? So we need both. The material is necessary and also the one who is the intellectual cause is necessary. Who created this universe? We plainly say God. The Vedanta say absolute one, he thought in that way. Now the question is, there is no doubt that God has created. All religion, all faith, they believe God has created it. But the problem comes when we ask the question, who has created bad people? Who has created sinful actions? Who has created all these temptations? Then some religion they will be saying, oh, the devil, where from the devil came. If God was alone there, devil was also there. If we accept the two entities at a time, both are existing. Now, this is a point we have to understand. If both are existing simultaneously, there will be clashes. And if the clashes, maybe good will win sometime, bad will win sometime. Do you think that sometime the God will be vanquished and God will die? No, it is not possible. God cannot die. Then the second possibility, where from the bad things came? From God again. And that is the ultimate that the Vedanta accept. It is only that absolute was there and there was nothing except that. Then from there, a different type of action started. One is good, one is terribly bad, one is the mixture of good and bad. They have given the Sanskrit name Sattva, Sattvika, Rajasika, Tamasika. The Svattika means very good. They love people, they care for people, they pray for people, they help people, like that. And Tamasika, exactly opposite. They will kill people, they will cheat people, they will torture people, opposite. Same person. And there are mixture also. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Where from all that? You look around us. Look to yourself. Three types of thoughts are coming. Why? Because the Creator has created it. And nothing, just suddenly it comes, nothing like that. It is there. So the Vedanta says, it is God who has created bad and God has created good also. Now the fighting between good and the bad, which is always depicted in the Hindu mythologies at the Devata and Ashura conflict, the good and the bad conflict, good mind and the bad mind, good thoughts and the bad thoughts. Now, what are good thoughts? When you are thinking about others. Why it is good thought? Because you are not selfish. I am thinking about myself also, but I am thinking about others also, praying for them, trying to help them. So this is the good quality of God because you are becoming unselfish. And the moment you become completely unselfish, you become God yourself. What is God? Unselfishness is God. So what is the reality? Where no actions are there, but all this power is there hidden. We give the example, sometimes I give the example like this. There is a doctor, very famous doctor, is sleeping. When he is sleeping, all the medical knowledge that he is having, that person is having, is dormant. It is not active. If I am there by his side and suffering, do you think the sleeping doctor can help me just because his presence? No. I have to ask the doctor to get up and have to report what is happening in my body. Then the doctor will come to his senses. He will then remember all the knowledges that he has studied, and from there action will come. That means a person may have the knowledge but not utilizing as a dormant way. When the God is not creating, it is just like that. All the creative power is there, knowledge is there, but he is not doing it. And that is the position is called Shiva. Those who know the Hinduism, you know another concept of the Hindus, one is Vedanta, another is Tantra. Tantra means the power, worshipper of power. What is that power? Knowledge. It's not the muscle power, it's a knowledge. This knowledge means, what is that knowledge? Shiva, that white male form lying down, not doing anything, but is the repository, is the storehouse of all knowledge and also action. Same Shiva, when performing creation, sustenance, and dissolution, is becoming Ma Kali. Ma Kali is not a lady, Shiva is not a male. These are all our, just to understand, father and mother, we have thought in that way. Why? Because the creation, so that is the mother. So this is the way, if we understand, we will understand there is no male, no female, it is only the knowledge and action. When it is knowledge, it's called Vedanta. When it is action, it's called Tantra. Now, in between there is the devotion, bhakti. What is that bhakti? Bhakti is a path that takes us very close to God easily. As because love is already there within us. So that love, when we direct to God, that love we give to the human being, we get attached. And then we suffer. The human relation always like that. And I was loving a child, then child grows up, and then afterwards he leaves me and go away. I suffer. All these days that he was there or she was there with me, now it is not. I love someone and then they change. I suffer. So human relation will always, there will be possibility of suffering. Wherever there is happiness, there will be also suffering. It goes like a light and shadow. It's obverse and reverse. That we have to understand. Now, I have love. I give that love to God. But the problem, the God I don't know. I have not talked to God. I have not seen God. I have to believe in God. The existence of God is there. How can I believe that? When I believe someone who is very truthful and never tell any lies. So obviously that is called Guru. I believe in the words of the Guru, the Master. And he says, at this moment you don't understand, it doesn't matter, but go on loving God. When you are cooking food, keep something separate, I will offer it to God. Whether you will eat or not, it doesn't matter. From my love, I am doing. When I am going to sleep, I also put up the light of my shrine and think that God will also go to sleep. God cannot sleep. But I am thinking, but because I like it. So that is the way when we think, it's called Radha. Krishna and Radha, as the male and the female, as a man and the woman. No, not like that. When there is a devotion, action, association, all those things are called Radha. Why? God's power. And this power sometimes binds us. God's power binds us. That is why Bhagavan Sri Ram Krishna said, it is the seductive Radha. Seductive means attraction is there and then binding. Sometimes some people, they don't have anyone, they could devote their mind to God, but no, they will have two pets. And they cannot go to temple and churches, to holy places, they cannot attain anything. Who will look after these pets? Now, there was no one. He was free or she was free. Now, he or she developed that love. Now, a bound, cannot go to God, cannot do anything. So that is type of seductive love. It will bound. So that is the way. We have to understand God's power, but it is binding. I don't need that. I have to pray to God. God, don't bind me. With your that power, it is so powerful, I cannot fight with that. Your power, can I fight it? No, it is, you have to grace me and say that you are free from that. I like to love you in different forms. Sometimes when I see the poor people, suffering people, I pray for them. I try to help as much as possible, not as human being, but the God in that form. The God has, because there is nothing but God. The basis is there is nothing but God. Oppressor is also God. One who is killing is also God. And those who are suffering are also God. But that is a very high level understanding. So here what we should do, we should try to avoid the oppressors, the torturers, the cruel people. And we should go and help the good one, and then with a prayer. When we are praying, then slowly, slowly, the love of God, Radha, becomes love. Radha means attraction to God, and it becomes love for God. Whom I am loving? Only the Krishna who is having the flute, or the Shiva with the trident, or these? No. We are not loving any personality. We are loving those qualities. The Shiva is auspicious. Why he is auspicious? Because he don't have any desire. The person who is not having any desire is pure. One who is having the desire must be the selfish, will try to protect his own interest. So obviously there will be something. Shiva is not having anything. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Sat Chit Ananda Rupa. Sat means existence, Chit is knowledge, and Ananda the bliss. These are the three qualities which can give the expression of the Brahman or the supreme existence. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching that teacher and the writer who wrote books that these are the things one should understand. There are two aspects of Radha and Krishna. One is absolute, another is relative. Who is the absolute? The same God when not active. Who is the relative? The same God when active. And when the relativity means I can see it, I can touch it, I can smell it, I can taste it, all these five organs of ours can verify that. But when it goes to the absolute, these five organs cannot understand anything. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra taraka, nema vidduto vanti, kuto vayam agnihi. Like this, in the expression in the Upanishad. When they realized it, they wanted to tell it to us. But the problem is how they will tell it, because the word cannot mention anything, cannot express anything. The moment we can explain God, that it becomes limited. Well, I know that, that God, I know him. He is this form. At this time he came. This was his this was his that. That means it is limited. So God cannot be finite. It is always infinite. So when it becomes finite, then we call them a son of God, messenger of God, as an avatar, incarnation of God, same God. They come within our knowledge, within our power. We can see them, we can talk to them, we can touch them. And we think that is, it is God. Those who understand that, they are really, really blessed. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna continuing. They are like the sun and the ray. That is the two aspects, absolute and relative. Sri Ramakrishna is giving the example, like the sun and the ray. This is a so nice example. The rays of sun is nothing but sun. Without the rays, we won't call that a sun. And if the sun is not there, the mass is not there, where from the ray will come? The mass is there and the rays are coming, the lights are coming. So in the morning when that mass is coming up, the star is coming up, we see that, and then we say sun rising. What is sun? The light. And without the light, there is no sun. And if the sun is not there, there is no light. So they are this way interrelated. You know, friends, this is the truth with the world also. But very difficult to understand and believe. And forget about taking action. When people say this world is nothing but God, how people will react? Oh, is it? How can that be? Then I am also God, you are also God, then this is good. Let us go and have party because we are all God. It is nothing like that. As the God means, you have to understand this is the absolute which has taken different forms. And when we see in that way, we understand. If you take the children to maybe ice cream bar, ice cream place, there are so many varieties of ice creams are there. The green color, yellow color, red color, white color. And they will go on, no, I will take the yellow one, I will take the white one. But all same ice cream only. Only the color change. But when you eat, it is the same ice cream. Maybe a little smell that nowadays they add, the vanilla, this, that. But it is only the same ice cream. When you look at the lights, different type of lights are there. Sometimes the white, long lights, we call it one name. And there are round type form. There are these, there are that. So many different colorful lights are there. We like those. But in reality, that is nothing but electricity. If the electricity is not there and all the bulbs are hanging, it is of no use. Those who understand the electricity is the main is called man of knowledge. When you look at the world and see it is nothing but the manifestation of God in different form, they become lover of humanity. They cannot kill human being. They cannot torture. They cannot do anything else but love and worship. Why? The same God has manifested in this form. So there may be enmity, may be other things, but not in religion. If a person say that he is a religious person, he must prove that he is a lover of humanity. Otherwise, he is saying not the truth, maybe half truth. He has not or she has not understood what is God. Understanding absolutely is God is absolute, and at the same time God is relative. And when it is relative, we can understand it because there is a manifestation, and that we understand through only 5 organs. We can see, we can smell, we can taste, we can touch, we can hear. Only these 5 organs. Sometimes we increase the power of these organs with some apparatuses. We look at the sky, can see some of the stars, but not very clearly. Then we use a machine and we see those stars clearly, that much. We increase our sight, eye power, much more, million times more. That is only. We hear the same way, smell the same way, increasing the power, but these 5 only. Beyond 5 there is nothing. But there is, beyond 5 there is the one truth. Wherefrom it has come. We will explain it. Now the ChatGPT and the computer is so intelligent. Google, ask Google any question. Immediately they will give the answer. Ask ChatGPT, immediately they will write and they will produce a book. And so intelligent. Now you ask ChatGPT, who are you? Will you realize God? Do you know about God? You see the answer? ChatGPT will say, sorry, I have not been developed in that way. I do not know what is God. Maybe you, sir, will be able to realize God, but not me. I am a machine. But the ChatGPT, I asked the ChatGPT, that was the answer. And ChatGPT cannot understand God. Why? It has not been fed. It has not been programmed. And no one can program in that way, not the best scientist also. Because he himself or she herself is not knowing it. So when one knows it, cannot express it, that is another problem. It is so subjective. Who am I? I know it very well. No one can understand me. They may be very close, they know many things, maybe my date of birth, my grown up, my these, that, but they do not know who am I. I know that. So similarly, when you realize God, it is you only realize, nobody else. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, so when we see things, we have to understand that this goes in this way. A genuine bhakta dwells something on the absolute and sometimes on the relative. A genuine bhakta dwells sometimes on the absolute and sometimes on the relative. Genuine bhakta, bhakta means the devotee, understanding the truth sometimes. So sometimes when people are meditating, slowly, all this, the surroundings, it vanishes. Where I am sitting and on which the thing that I am sitting, everything vanishes, including my body, it vanishes. And that is called, in the relative way, he or she is staying. That is the condition. That is a very good meditation, when people forget their own existence. Like when we forget our own existence in the sleep and we go into deep sleep condition where we don't see the dreams also, dreamless sleep, we come back and say, I had a wonderful rest, wonderful sleep. Today I am feeling fresh. Because that is the condition of joy, happiness. When I forget my body, when I forget my mind, when I am absolutely detached from body and mind, that is called the conscious state. Vedanta proves in that way. There are 3 different stages: Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti. And when we knowingly go over there, it's called meditation, Samadhi. In the night, sleeping time, every day we do that, but come back the same person ignorant. When you get up, same ignorance. But when we practice to go to that stage, it's called Chaturtham, the fourth condition, Turiya condition. There is a different terminology. But how you will know? You will be full with joy, happiness. That means happiness is the source of creation. That is why in the Upanishad it says, Anandeva khalu imani bhutani jayante. In Sanskrit they say, Anandeva. Eva means only from Ananda, from bliss, imani, these, bhutani, being, jayante are born. So our goal is that Ananda, absolute Ananda. And to reach over there, we take duality. It becomes easy. And in the duality, we take a form which is very attractive, that is Krishna. And in the Krishna, we develop a story of a lady who loved Krishna, and for that she gave up everything. 24 hours she was meditating on this Krishna form and then merged with Krishna. She became Krishna herself. Radha Krishna ekatanubhaya. There's a song they say, they became one. The devotee and the God become one, absolute. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioned. Sometimes they dwell on the absolute and sometimes on the relative. Both the absolute and the relative belong to one and the same reality. It is all one, neither two nor many. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to worship Mother Kali, but he was not a dualist. He was an absolute Vedantin. And he knew this. Though I am worshipping in this way, it is only one. Then the author means the person who came to visit Sri Ramakrishna, he is saying, Sir, why do they speak of the Krishna of Vrindavan and the Krishna of Mathura? Two places, you know, Vrindavan and Mathura, they are two cities very close by, a dual city. And at the time of Bhagavan Krishna, the Vrindavan was like a village, and the simple-minded people they used to live over there. They used to take the cow herds for grazing. They used to sell the milk and the milk product like that. Mathura was a city where a little decent people used to live, and naturally there will be the king who is ruling. They are giving the taxes. All those things are there. So Vrindavan and Mathura. Mathura, it's completely different than the Vrindavan in the lifestyle. Vrindavan was more simple, but Mathura was complicated, as we see even nowadays, village life and the city life. Now, Sri Krishna was brought up in Vrindavan and very simple life. Then he came to Mathura because he had his mission to punish the wicked people, wrongdoers. With that mission he came and he fought with them. He vanquished, he killed them. So that is all story. So some devotee they say, no, we like Vrindavan Krishna, not the Mathura. Some people say Mathura Krishna is much better than the Vrindavan. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling that is the view of the Goswamis. Goswami means the people, those who worship, they are supposed to be learned people, but they think in this way. But the scholars of the Upper India think differently. Upper India, that means the northern part of India up to Gujarat, they say that think differently. According to those scholars, there is only one Krishna and no Radha. the Krishna of Dwarka is not the associated with Radha. Krishna of Dwarka, the western part of India is known as the Gujarat, and one very famous city is Dwarka. Still the temple is there, and the remnants of the Krishna's time still there inside the water. The Indian archaeologists, they have preserved those. So that is the way we can understand that. But Dwarka is a city where the Krishna is a king, he is a ruler, he is active. So obviously, when he was in the village, there was no such like that. So two types of people, they say, when he was with us, he was simple, we could talk to him. Now as a king, we cannot go and approach to him. So obviously, they are not liking. But the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, they are all the same. There is no Radha and Krishna that they used to love each other. These are all the imaginations of the Vaishnavas who are from the eastern part of India. There's a Gaurabanga. Gaurabanga means Bengal, and that Vaishnavas. Why? Mainly, a great personality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he developed this conception, Radha conception. It becomes easy for the ordinary people to understand the love of a lady to a gentleman and the gentleman to a lady. It becomes easy because it's so normal. We always see in the society. Using that, he is telling that if you like to love God, your love should be million times intensified. Otherwise, you won't realize the Krishna. But the other Vaishnavas, Vaishnava means those who worship Krishna. So other Vaishnavas, they don't believe in that. They say, no, it is nothing to do with that. Krishna is all pervading. Krishna is the supreme God. From Krishna, everything has come. So their views mostly from the viewpoint of the jnana, and this view is completely dualist. So they love Krishna, they like to feed Krishna, they like to talk to Krishna, they sing and dance before Krishna. It becomes easy for the people because all those notions are already present in them. They express that before God. So these are two different. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that there the Krishna of Dwarka is not associated with Radha. See, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna never visited this place. He was from the village. He never read books. He was not that way scholar at all. But he knew everything because of the realization. The truth that revealed within him, it never wanted to read books. Then the author mentioning, Sri Radha and Krishna are themselves the supreme Brahman. Now this author is truly he is mentioning, but he is mentioning just casually, it is not from the realization. Now Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is saying this, that is good, but you must remember that everything is possible for God. When they call Supreme Brahman, absolute Brahman, the knowledge, that means he is only there and nothing is there. Now, we should not say he or she, it is it, because consciousness. The no male or female, it is only consciousness, absolute. And sometimes some people don't think that it may be the duality. Some people are very, very orthodox in this way. They will never like to accept that God can be in form. So here Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is teaching, he is mentioning that God, you must remember that everything is possible for God. He is formless and again he assumes forms. Everything is possible. This is the uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna. Most of our spiritual teachers, whatever they have learned and then meditated on that, practiced on that, they propagate that and they say that is the only path. That is the problem. This is the only path. So much of conflict in religion because of these. If they say, well, I have realized God in this way, I know only this much. There may be something else. I do not know. Suppose I go from here to Washington, D.C. by road, driving a car. And when someone asks me, I like to go to Washington, D.C., I heard that you have reached there. How can I go? I said, see, I drove, and this is the map. You can reach over there. It will take this much of time. I know only this much. I do not know how other way you can go. That is okay. But if he says this is the only path that you can reach God, that creates problem. And in the religious world, so many millions times, people killed each other because of this. Some says God is this and not that. How do you know? God is powerful, God may be in that form, God may be in this form. Are you limiting God? Are you more powerful than God? And that is called blasphemy. Sometimes people, they think that I am a religious leader, whatever we have seen. What you have seen? You have not seen anything. Because you are limiting God by your words. The moment you say this is the only thing, you must say, well, I know this much. Oh, no problem. A mathematician solving a problem in his own way, and he'll say, I could solve in this way only. I do not know any other way. Another will come. He'll use another formula and he will solve the same problem. There's no problem. That is there. Openness should be there. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is the embodiment of all paths and faiths. Sarva Dharma Samannaya, because of this. You know, friends, why we should read his biography? Why we should read his messages, teachings? Because this is the only way we can solve this conflict in religion. We are all good people. We believe in God. We go to the holy places. We like to live a holy life. But only thing, like a just ignorant person, we are killing each other, hating each other because of not understanding. So from the Vedanta Society Chicago, we have started another center in Chicago itself, and the name of that is Know and Love. Home of Harmony is the building, and the main message is know and love. If you don't know, how can you love? So come and listen to different religions. So we invite different religious leaders, faiths. They come and express their views, their opinions, and there's a question answer. They mix with people, and slowly, slowly we are becoming friends. We have published a book also on that, Many Ways to God. And we try, if you read that, you will find all paths are leading to the same goal, only they are calling the goal in different names because of the language. Those who are speaking Hindi, they will speak in one way, English or Spanish or Greek, and all different language only, but the same thing. Suppose I call my Baba and Ma in Bengali, it's my mother tongue, and I am calling my father and mother. One who knows the English will say the father and mother, I will say Baba and Ma. Are they different? That is my father and mother, that is your father and mother, but your father is like my father. They are very careful, and they always protect us, and always like to see us successful, happy, same thing. Only you are calling your father as father because your language is English. I am calling the same father in a different language because my different language. Friends, we have to understand this. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's the greatest contribution to the world is samannaya, unification. It doesn't mean a Christian should be a Hindu or the Hindu should be a Muslim, a Muslim should be a Buddhist, nothing like that. Only understanding I am going to the right direction, my path is perfect path, I believe, but others are traveling, their paths may be and must be correct. I don't have anything to say about that. I must accept that much. And the conflict in the whole world, at least 75 to 80% will be solved. Others conflict about with the economy, the sociology or language, that is very, very little. But the religion is a tremendous force. Without religion, human cannot survive. And if that religious force is used by some for their own benefit, it's terrible. So we have to understand that, and that is the reason every time we assemble, we try to give this message. We all are on the right directions. If you don't have any path, but only you have the desire to realize God, you will realize God. God will come to you, believe me, because God has promised. God can hear every prayer, and He will sanction that, He will answer to that if that is good for you. Sometimes we want something that is not good for us, so God is not granting. And sometimes He grants us some prayer which will be good for us. He's like a great father. He knows best. Depend on God. Pray to God. Even if you don't believe in God. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in unique way, he said, if you don't believe in God, no problem. You say, pray to God, oh God, if you do exist, please listen to my prayer. That will also do. Because he's so compassionate. Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, it is good, but you must remember that everything is possible for God. He is formless and again assumes forms. He is the individual and He is the universe. He is Brahman and He is the Shakti. There is no end to Him, no limit. When we say that God cannot eat these, we are limiting Him. When we say that God cannot have these, we are limiting Him. Going against Him. We have to understand that. It is not a religious thing. We are going against God. And that is the reason we suffer. We think, oh, I am so devoted to my religion, and that's why I am always having a sword and the gun in my hand to protect. You are doing completely wrong thing. And that is why you suffer, we suffer. Listen to this small paragraph of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Nothing is impossible for Him. No matter how high and the kites are, they never strike against the ceiling of the sky. Sky is so high. So obviously, my God is great. Of course it is great. Great to you. My path is the best. Of course, to you. So you should not impose it on others. If you ask me what Brahman is like, all I can say it is that it cannot be described in words. It is that. It cannot be described in words. Even when one has realized Brahman, one cannot describe it. If someone asks you what goes is like, what ghee is like, I'm sorry, because of the lie. What ghee is like, your answer will be, ghee is like ghee. A clarified butter, so that is called ghee. The only analogy for Brahman is Brahman. Nothing exists beside it. It's not he or she beside it. So that is what the Hinduism they say, and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned it, and sometimes we make the mistake that my religion is the best. Of course it is best. but for you. That much. And for the others, it may be different. Accept it. And if you do that, you will be a peacemaker. You are progressing in your own path and at the same time helping others to make the progress in the religious path. And you know, that's our children, our younger generation, they will be on the helms of the affairs in the society afterwards. They will be the presidents. They will be the decision makers. If they understand these and grow, you will find the conflict will be very, very less. All will be happy in their own surroundings and they will help each other. I have this excess, I like to give it to you, you give me yours. Business will be so smooth. Everything depends on understanding, and clear understanding about God and religion makes a man a God. God means full of love and unselfishness. Okay, friends, thank you. Today we'll stop over here. And is there any question?
So the first question is from Mithali Chatterjee. She is asking how to get rid of the worldly attraction.
You know, they call it, you have to first tell yourself that I do not like it, first. And secondly, all the time you have to leave those things. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna said the same thing to Arjuna. The only two things, the first is bichara and then giving up, and go on practicing. Obhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihate. Cha means and. You have to take these two paths. Your mind will go again and again. Again you have to bring back the mind and saying, oh, that is not the right path. That is not the right type of thing. That is called bichara. And vairagya means giving up, giving up, giving up. So many people have enjoyed those things. Are they happy? There's no. In that case, why should I unnecessarily think in that way? I should be free from that. You practice that, you will be successful.
Samir Kumar Dey is asking, it's a fact that it is difficult to concentrate on meditation when uncalled for thoughts crowding and disturbing one's concentration. How can it be overcome?
So, just now I gave the answer the same way. Don't bother about what is happening in the mind. Mind is like that. Mind will go on thinking in a different way. Before sitting for meditation, you tell yourself, well, I am going to meditate, and even whole world breaks down today, now, this moment. I am not going to open my eyes. I will be only concentrating on the object on which I am meditating. Try in this way every day and find slowly, slowly mind is becoming tame, and mind will understand that you won't allow it to play. So like a naughty boy, slowly it will become all right and calm and sit quietly. Practice, practice and practice. That makes a perfection.
Abhishek Banerjee is asking, is doing pranayama good for me?
Abhishek, I cannot say yes or no because you have to go to a guru or a teacher. There are those who teach the pranayama or the yoga. They may tell you. Pranayama means controlling the breathings, very vital. If you cannot do it perfectly, it may damage your body and the mind. So be careful. Normal, this, as we do, that is sufficient. The breathing, normal way. If you are interested, contact some teacher. Those who know about it, they may guide you. Thank you very much.
The user SSG is asking, Swamiji, where are your glasses? Please don't answer if it is disrespectful to.
That is true. You know, when you grow old, things changes. That's true. So I will have some glasses after some time. Now, as the period is going on, some treatment in the eye, and I am feeling little difficulty to read, in this light. But I never stopped the classes. I thought it is okay. Thank you for asking this question, and thank you for caring for me. Thank you very much. Thank you. So let us chant this mantra and we conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.